I'm proud to represent the graduating class of 1964. We are old. Most of us were born in 1946, first of the baby boomers. Sadly, from our graduating class of 153, 22 of us are no longer booming. Most of my classmates lived here in Centerville and, of course, attended grade school here in Centerville. Some of us came from the countryside. We may have attended elementary school in Cincinnati or Exline or Mystic or Numa. 7 of us came from Rathbun. I was one of them. We'd passed our county exams. We're headed to one of the largest high schools in the country, it seemed. I think we always felt safe here. Paul Johnson was our principal. He greeted us every morning over the intercom with words of encouragement and wisdom. Sometimes he quoted Shakespeare. Other mornings he read poetry. Later on, as some of us grew more confident and relaxed, we qualified for special meetings with Mr. Johnson, and there was no Shakespeare or poetry. On a blustery Friday afternoon in November of '63, he had the intercom on as we reported our 5th period classes. He had to tell us that President John Kennedy had been shot in Dallas, Texas, and then, realizing the significance of the moment, he piped Walter Cronkite's live radio broadcast into the intercom, and we heard the dreadful news that our president was dead. For about 33 years in education, I had been a principal, actually a teacher, and then 26 years in administration, and I've evaluated a lot of teachers. You know, on this side, you have the mechanics of what a teacher's doing. Do they have a good lesson plan? Do they have an objective? Are they teaching toward their objective? Are they using their time wisely? There's a long list, but over here, you have their passion. Do they believe in what they're doing? Are they committed? Are they willing to risk being unpopular to get kids to learn? Do they like kids? Well, I can't comment on the mechanics of our teachers, but I remember their passion. Who can forget the passion of Miss Hulda Stomberg and Mr. Miller in English? They had us sitting up straight, feet on the floor, looking straight ahead. We learned. Or the passion of Mr. Curtis, our speech teacher. You know, we dreaded giving those first speeches, and somehow he encouraged you, and you pulled it off. No one ever gave a bad speech in his class. My favorite teacher, Mrs. Simons. I didn't meet her till the final semester of my senior year. And I didn't even need to take senior composition. I found out my friends were taking it, and I wanted to be with them. I was warned, hey, she's just retired from Georgetown University somewhere back east, and you're going to have to do a lot of writing in her class. Well, I thought I could handle that. Her first writing assignment. Imagine you were in a large cornfield in southern Iowa. It's a very warm, humid August afternoon. Tell me what you experience. Use your creativity. Use your imagination. Okay. She wants creativity. She wants imagination. I wrote with a flourish. The next day, I got my paper back. There was a large A at the top. More importantly, she'd written all over that paper. The top, bottom, the margin, on the back. She'd written more than I had. All the comments were positive. What to do on the next writing assignment? I decided to try harder, and I wrote more, and she wrote more. And that's the way it went. You know, I just took this class to be with my friends, and she's turning me into an Ernest Hemingway. She had a party for us toward the end of the year. She had a small apartment on the north side of the square. There was Kool-Aid and cookies. She greeted everyone during the course of the evening. When she finally cornered me, she got a little bit closer than I wanted her to get. And she said, well, David, what are your plans for after high school? I said, well, I actually mumbled. I said, I got this little baseball scholarship. I guess I'll try college. Oh, she said, and then will you play baseball professionally or continue your writing? You see, this woman would just not quit. And you know, I think we had teachers here that I barely knew who had some passion and interest in us. I wasn't a band student. Band was not for me, but many of my classmates enjoyed band. Mr. Kelly was an instructor. They respected him. I walked into this men's room over here on a Friday morning, and I was wearing my red letter sweater, and as I approached one of the porcelain receptacles, Mr. Kelly appeared on my right. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I didn't think teachers had to do this during the day. I thought they waited till they got home at night. And I made sure I didn't make any of my regular noises, because this guy had an ear for sound. He turned to me and he said, what's your name? I said, Dave Morris. Playing in the game tonight? Yeah, I'm playing. What's your number? 89. I'll be watching for you. Good luck tonight. And then I think of our coaches. I think they had passion. I think they wanted to win. I think they wanted us to win. My favorites were Mr. James Heslop in baseball and football, and Mr. Hauser, excuse me, Merle Hauser in track. They worked very hard. I've often wondered what they got paid for all the time they spent with us. And then I also wonder where all the money came for the brand new shoes we had when we made the varsity team, and for some of the fine meals we had on the road. We had a supportive community. Athletics were very important to us. Many of my friends participated, particularly when we were 9th and 10th graders. Sadly, our girls only had access to golf, but that was a different time. After 2 years of trying everything, I'd somehow lettered in baseball and in track and field. But I knew where the action was. I knew where the excitement was. And it was playing football. I had a problem, though. I wasn't particularly fast, and I weighed 138 pounds. And then something magic happened that summer. Baled a lot of hay, lifted a few weights with the Kovaceviches, ran 2 miles 3 or 4 times a week. I ate a lot of my mother's Croatian cooking. I gained almost 30 pounds. I think I can play big red football, and somehow I started our first game against City High of Iowa City as a junior. Oh, the excitement. A chartered bus, the school turned out to see us off on the north side of the building, a meal before the game, and we got beat bad. And I think I got beat up worse than anyone. But I love the excitement. I just couldn't get enough of it. We're 2-7 our junior year. Not very satisfying. But now we're seniors. And I don't know why. There was a lot of hope for us as seniors. Well, for one thing, a lot of the guys on our team were big and they're strong, and we didn't have a weight program. Several of my teammates could run. They could really run. Several were prone to violence. The juniors behind us were just as talented as we were. They're pushing us for playing time. We had 2 wonderful captains, co-captains, Tom Anders and Bill Kovacevic. They led by example. We had the prettiest cheerleaders south of Des Moines. I got to touch all the bases here. After 4 games, we're 2-2. We'd lost to City High of Iowa City by 1 touchdown. We were beaten by Mount Pleasant. They'd go on to be the #1 team in the state, not only undefeated, unscored upon. They had a coach named Evans. He knew what he was doing, too. Now it's the 5th game of the year. We're playing Fairfield, and it's our homecoming, and we're all caught up in the festivities of homecoming. A lot of excitement. I find out that my father's coming home. He's going to quit his job early on Friday afternoon, 160 miles away. He's going to attend the game, the only one he would ever attend. And I'm getting to play a little offense, sharing right in with 2 other guys. Coach Heslop has a new play, a fullback pass. The quarterback takes a snap in the wing T formation, turns and pitches a ball to the fullback running around right end. The right end is to run a post pattern, deep one across the middle. You know, we ran that play a lot of times, and I said, this ain't going to work. None of our ends are fast enough to get open on a deep pattern, and that included me. And Larry Shondell, our fullback, he can't throw a spiral. He's got short, stubby fingers, and catching a pass from him is like catching a helicopter. But, you know, with 2 minutes to go in the first half, we're down, and we know this is a pivotal game. It could determine the rest of the season. We're down by 2 touchdowns. We're on our 21-yard line, and that play was called. And Shondell took the snap, and he threw the ball, and it was a wobbler. And our right end had run the post pattern. It was going to be close as to who got there first, he or the Fairfield defensive back. The Fairfield back got there first, but he just tipped the ball. And our right end, he caught it over his left shoulder, and the race was on. And our end wasn't tackled until he made it in the end zone. We had 10 seconds of joy and jubilation, and then the play was called back. We had a back in motion. Instead of a 79-yard touchdown, we got a 5-yard penalty. We would go on to score once more in the second half, and we held Fairfield scoreless. And to our credit, we won 3 of our next 4 games to finish 5-4, and we had a winning season. And then I have to tell you that I caught that pass, and I don't say that to glorify my exploits. I know who our good players were. But this play and that play has been a memory of mine for 50 years. I always catch the ball, I always make it to the end zone, and it's always called back. And I told a story to my 3 boys who played lumberjack football up in northern Minnesota. And the youngest one, of course, had to say, but that play didn't even count. Right. And you lost your homecoming game. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm the only one that knows how badly I wanted to win that game. And I'm the only one that knows how hard I worked. All the contests I've ever been in, I wanted to win that one. So I've got a very special memory. And I now turn to you, Big Red football players, particularly you seniors. And I ask, what memories do you want to have after tonight's ball game? I'm guessing you want those memories to be special, memories that you can cherish. What memories will you have tomorrow morning, or a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 50 years from now? My advice, when you hit the field tonight, even in your warm-ups, your eyes should be wide open, your nostrils flared, hair on the bottom of your neck should be standing out. You need to take in all the sights and the sounds and the smells, and you need to play with passion. You do that, and you can't lose. You're going to create some memories. And by the way, some of us from the class of '64, we're going to attend tonight's game. We don't know who you are, but as we walk into the stadium, we'll pick up a program. We'll probably recognize some old family names. We'll find out your number. We'll be watching for you. Good luck tonight.